Hello everyone, I'm Tahmin Ustoeva from Tajikistan. I'm studying at the American University of Central Asia, majoring in International and Comparative Politics, and I'm a member of the C5+1 Youth Council since 2019, and today it's the first educational workshop of the C5+1 Youth Council, and today my video is about academic writing, its definition, and its significant features. Let's start by defining what is academic writing. It's writing which composes and communicates data, ideas, and researches to the wider academic audience. Academic writing is the formal writing style used in colleges, universities, and scholarly publications. It's what students are expected to produce for classes and what professors and academic researchers use to write scholarly materials. In other words, you will encounter it in journal articles and books on academic topics, and you will be expected to write your essays, your research papers, dissertations, literature reviews, or theses in academic style. Now let's continue with some significant features of academic writing. First is formality. Academic writing is relatively formal. In general, it means that in an essay, you should avoid colloquial expressions. For example, slang is informal and sometimes private vocabulary that expresses the solidarity of a group, such as teenagers, rock musicians, or football fans. It's subject to more rapid change than standard English. Words like cool, awesome, or groovy are not appropriate in academic writing. Although colloquial expressions have certain vitality, it is a code that not everyone understands, and it's very informal. Let's look at some examples below. If we don't begin studying for the final, the whole semester's work is going down the tubes. Going down the tubes is colloquial expression that non-native speaker can understand. Instead of saying this sentence, we should try, if we don't begin studying for the final, a whole semester's work will be wasted, that is comfortable to understand and clear. Let's look at second example. The government's field guidelines for food will gross you out. Gross you out is here idiomatic expression, therefore it might be difficult to understand for some group of people. Instead of saying this idiomatic expression, we should say the government's field guidelines for food will disgust people. The second important feature of the academic writing is objectivity. Language of academic writing is in general objective rather than personal. It therefore has fewer words that refer to the writer or the reader. This means that the main emphasis should be on the information that you want to give and the arguments you want to make rather than you and yourself. In other words, writing objectively means to separate yourself from the subject matter and any preconceptions associated with a topic to evaluate what exists rather than what is believed to be true. Here are some suggestions that you can use to make your paper sound more objective. Avoid emotive language and intensifiers such as very, strongly, quite, or pretty, which exaggerate your writing in an imprecise and subjective way. Secondly, show opposing viewpoints from different aspects. Also, use facts, credible and logical evidence to sound more objective. As well as that, remain gender neutral. Lastly, cut personal language and personal pronouns such as I, you, and we. Let's look at some examples below. As such, I feel there is a need for government intervention. Instead of saying I feel, we can use these findings suggest the need for government intervention. Second example sounds like the idea that intelligent life exists on Venus or Mars is a ridiculous conspiracy. Ridiculous conspiracy makes your sentence a little bit informal and subjective. Therefore, we should say there is no evidence of intelligent life on Venus or Mars. The third feature of the academic writing is organization and its structure. The way you organize an essay depends on the type of essay you are writing. It's useful to use sign points to help readers make sense of your essay's path. Signpost examples are: this essay discusses, the main aim of the paper is to analyze, to discuss, to reflect, and etc. Or you can say, in the last section, the paper tends to, and continue your position. Because you might be working with complex information and abstract ideas, it might be useful to employ transitional phrases to guide readers through your ideas. Example of transitional phrases be like furthermore, however, on the other hand, in other words, consequently, to summarize, to conclude, and etc. Also, other main feature of the academic writing is clearness and preciseness. Being precise means to choose the right words for intended purpose. It's important to choose a precise language that very clearly conveys the author's meaning. Precision allows readers to clearly follow your methodology and arguments. In order to be clear and precise, simply avoid being wordy. Some writers think that using large words and flowery phrases makes them sound more intelligent or poetic, but such language in fact sounds pretentious. In addition, it often hides the writer's real thoughts and opinions. Here is example with long sentence that sounds like, when our progenitors reach silver-haired and golden years, we frequently encircle them in homes for senescent beings as if they were already among the deceased. Instead of these complicated phrases, we can simply say, when our parents become old, we frequently entomb them in old age homes as if they were already among the dead. In academic writing, you need to be precise when you use information, data, or figures. Don't use a lot of people when you can say 50 million people or 39 million people. The last feature of the academic writing is source citation. Most academic writing include at least some scholarly, secondary research, and primary sources. Be sure to properly cite all sources and include bibliography in order to avoid plagiarism. Of course, individual assignments may sometimes have different requirements. Always review submission guidelines carefully to verify you are following the proper format and style. Today in this workshop, by defining what is academic writing, also we talked about its main features that are formality, objectivity, its structure and organization, clearness and preciseness, along with source citation. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, you can comment it below. Thank you.